of the American Constitutional Republic. Affairs of state in Oklahoma, the beliefs, principles, opinions, and views of people just like me. This is 3D Politics. Every week on Facebook Live, 3D Politics with the creator and curator of SoonerPolitics.org, David Van. Also, every week, David Oldham, founder and scholar at ConstitutionalGrounds.com. And of course, me, your fine director and host, Tommy McKay, your verbal Viking, comedian, and a political humorist. Here we go. Oh, also former mayoral candidate, but I'm over it. Never over it. Never over it. All right, so we have tonight Al Gerhart, the wrecking ball, to expose the underbelly of corruption in state politics. So let's go ahead and without further ado, let's see if we can bring Al in, beam him in. Should be joining. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Al Gerhart has joined the 3D Politics gang for another exciting edition. Al Gerhart, thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we know that the Attorney General, I think it's Scott Hunter, right? Hunter, is it Scott? Scott Hunter. Is it Mike?
Mike.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, I get those two guys.
Scott Pruitt.
Scott Pruitt. So there it is, Hunter, the AG. There's just corruption running amok. But now, Al, it's been a long time, and I want to bring up, I've got a little minute and a half I want to play for you here.
Sure.
Right before I got into politics, you were already a big star out there. and
Okay.
So I did a thing called Tommy K, Connecting the Dots, which was a news parody, and you were mentioned in it. So here it is. I'll bring this to you here. Here is my Tommy K news parody.
Connect the Dots with Tommy K is brought to you by the Armbar. Submit to the Armbar. Warning. Connect the Dots with Tommy K is a broadcast production that includes comedic content designed for those that listen and people who read. Punchlines from the headlines. If you don't know the news, you can't get the joke. Good morning, Tulsa. I'm Tommy K. And now news of the state. In light of the new law making mandatory the Pledge of Allegiance in public schools, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin has hired Al Gerhart, co-founder of the Sooner Tea Party, to help launch the new Pledge Allegiance campaign. Gerhart will help encourage kids from around the state to salute the flag by promoting his original slogan, or I will make sure you regret not doing it.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Fake news. It's phony stuff.
You can't get the joke. Tommy K, connecting the dots.
There you go.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did Mr. Brennan regret not doing it? That's what I would ask.
I thought it
would
was
say-
ridiculous
exactly.
that they even tried to hang you out for that. I mean, that was just really, that's
Well,
anyway.
Mr. Brennan lost the Senate race, and I think I was a small part of that. So, oh no,
All
that
right.
was a corporate commissioner race. Yeah.
That's right. He did. Yeah.
Because he felt, how did he put it? He felt threatened.
That funny feeling is what he.
Well, that is what I do. What can I say?
Well, I appreciate you being here. Okay, so here we go with the story. Al, you wrote just a hard-hitting smear piece on AG Hunter. So let's talk about the corruption. We understand the motivation had to do with sex, etc., but let's try to explain more about the corruption in the government. Tell us about it.
Well,
for our listeners, let's also give a brief synopsis of the full story
Okay,
because
yes.
a lot of our listeners have not heard the story.
Oh, come
So
on. All right.
Okay, I'll run through
you've got
it.
to run through it.
Last Friday, I guess it was, Mike Hunter, what was he, a 3-year AG, decided that he had to resign for personal matters that would become a distraction. So he decided to resign for the good of the office. He had, let's see here, he had filed for divorce against his wife of 40 years too. And the rumors that were coming out that basically he had been caught cheating on her, although it was kind of an open secret to a lot of people. So what really made it interesting was, I guess it was the same day or a day later, we have the charges being dropped against this appointee. What was he?
Ostro.
Office of Digital Ostro. Yes, David Ostro. Office of Digital Transformation or something like that. Cabinet position, Stitt's cabinet. And of course, he had been charged back, or I'm sorry, a grand jury had indicted him back in December, thanks to Mike Hunter, for bribery. And the story was a $5,000 bribe offered to tax commission officials, along with some threats that if they didn't do it, their budget appropriations would be cut. But this time all we knew was that Mr. Hunter, and then a few days later, the name of the alleged partner, Kimberly C. Bailey, came out, and it was let slip that she had filed for divorce back in April. Well, that was pretty easy to track down. And so we pretty much verified, yes, Kim C. Bailey had filed for divorce in Cleveland County, April of 2021. But when it really got interesting was when Mr. Ostro's charges got dropped. Now, $5,000. Who in the heck in their right mind with that kind of money is going to, it's a $5,000 tax bill. You just pay it. You don't start making threats to get senators, and committee heads to start threatening the tax commission, right?
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
And it wasn't his $5,000 tax bill either, right?
Good point. It allegedly belonged to a company owned by Jason Smalley.
Now you guys are way more involved with this and knowing better. So who owed the $5,000?
A guy by the name of Jason Smalley, a former senator, pretty high runner up there at the Senate. I think he was in leadership there for a while.
And how is he connected to Ostro?
Boy, that's a good question. I guess supposedly Ostro, according to the indictment, Ostro got I think it was another senator to go up to the tax commission and make threats, allegedly. Now, Smalley said he never met Ostro. I guess he probably knew who he was. He said he never met him. And so somehow or another, Ostro was carrying water for Jason Smalley, allegedly.
Okay. All right. So we don't know how Smalley's connected to Ostro, but Ostro's carrying water for him because Smalley's the one that owes the money.
Allegedly,
according to the AG.
According to the AG.
According to the Attorney General, Mike Hunter.
Yeah. And again, for those who don't understand, grand juries are basically where your accuser gets to go tell a story and you don't get to rebut it. And if they believe the rumor against you, you get indicted. Is that basically it?
I have testified before a grand jury against David Prater in 2012, which is what led to him coming after me in 2013.
Yeah.
And yes, you go in there and talk to the Attorney General. You're talking to the Attorney General or his deputy is basically questioning you in front of the grand jurors, and they just sit back and listen. Big old room, and you're sitting up there in a chair in front of everybody, and basically the AG is walking you through your story. So but of course the AG has got an enormous amount of clout in leading this law.
So the salaciousness, to get back to the salaciousness, is involved with the timing. I thought Van would like that. It has to do with the timing of the divorces. Is that right? I mean, it's because somehow the timing of these breakups of these two marriages. So one happened in April, and that was the Bailey. And then when did Hunter's divorce start?
A week ago.
It was a week ago.
April. So like a month later.
It was a typo in L's story. It was May 21st he filed for divorce. She filed in April.
A month before.
So apparently the Bailey and Hunter are like, look, we're both going to break up with our special one, right? Because they've got this thing. And apparently Hunter knew, well, I'm going to be quitting my job, right?
Well, it was a little bit more convoluted than that. I don't think
Okay.
either one of them had an idea they were going to break up and marry and live happily ever after. What actually happened, according to my sources, is that the Mr. Bailey just happens to pick up his wife's phone one day and saw something he shouldn't have. And that led to the uncovering of the affair for as far as Mr. Bailey was concerned. Like I said, it was an open secret down at the Capitol. And, then she filed divorce charges just, I guess, at some point in the future. So they were kind of pushed into it. I think what kind of happened here, if I was reading between the tea leaves there, I'd probably say that Mr. Bailey or Mrs. Hunter probably got to Mr. Ostro and spilled the beans about this affair. And now it goes deeper than this, because Kim Bailey was a Burger King franchisee. So was David Ostro. I mean, these are usually successful people that get, leached into politics. They're good at what they do. They've made your money. Now they're bored. They're wanting another challenge. So here they come. And apparently there was a bit of competition and maybe some bad blood in between them. So Kim was being considered for this office of digital transformation, I believe it was called. And apparently Mr. Ostro shot her down. Basically went behind the scenes to the cabinet and got her pulled from the running. And I believe the guy was Lance Fry. Was that his name?
Well, yeah, but I think you got the office wrong. Wasn't it Commissioner of the Health Department that she was?
You're right. That's exactly it. You're right. That's exactly it. I'm sorry. Too much going on here. Yeah. So it was that health department office. Now, she was a general counsel at the time. You remember she was in the news with Julia Still. There was a guy. Yeah, there was a guy that she was having an affair with that worked for her, and they got caught, and she was in the news talking about that. So here's Miss Morals right there, firing other people for sleeping around on the job while she's doing it too for some time, apparently.
Yeah.
So Lance Fry gets the job. She's upset. So she leaves the health department, of course, doesn't want to work under the new guy, and lands a job over at the insurance department, I believe.
Right.
Now, this woman just came into politics in 2016, and all of a sudden she's just like stepping up to some of these, huge positions. And you got to understand, she was a lawyer for 20 years before that, and a Burger King franchisee. And why does she
Bailey chick, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. But yeah, so there was some bad blood between Ostro and Bailey to start with, and of course, what we don't know is that who put the pressure on? Was it Kim Bailey? Was it Mike? I call him Hunter, as in Hunter Biden. Was it Kim, or was it Mike Hunter that put the pressure on, to get these charges filed? I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it was Hunter that pulled the trick. So it was really interesting whenever the shoe dropped, and there was Mr. Ostro's charges getting dismissed about this whole same time, and it kind of put all the story together. So.
I mean, I know it's me. So Ostro and Smalley and Bailey and Hunter are all on the same side.
No, I would say that Ostro and Stitt are on one side, and Bailey and Hunter are on the other.
Ostro.
Yeah.
And
so
because Bailey and Ostro,
Smalley has just been thrown into the mix as convenient. Maybe.
Bailey?
Yeah.
Or maybe he does owe money
Smalley.
and thing really did happen. But who knows, because the sex scandal gets in the way of potential justice being delivered.
This is exciting stuff going on here. You are listening to.
They did dismiss with no prejudice.
Here. With that fine intercom whistle, we always reset it to 15 minutes. We got Al Gerhart exploring the underbelly of corruption in state politics with Hunter, as he calls him, Mike Hunter, having the sex with some hot chick named Bailey. And I don't know, I just threw that in as a kind of an op-ed. But also every week, David Van and David Oldham with me right here, Tommy McCann, 3D Politics. Okay, back to the story. So this Bailey chick, did I see a picture of her in the story? She's got the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Super cute. So, I mean, that's a problem right off the bat.
No, hang on. I originally had the wrong picture, and David corrected me on that. Thank you, David. And
the current one's up right
that's
now.
That's two, Al. That's two. He's correct, John.
she's not that cute. I mean, she's you know, I'm gonna get in trouble
That's
here,
what
I
we're
guess.
going
but,
by.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't care,
I
Al.
don't, you know, look, can I biggie size that at the Burger King?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
want it. Al, where does it go from here,
we
both
are just
legally and
off the
politically?
edge.
Well, what's interesting about this is that Hunter resigning. This is one of David Prater's classic moves: resign or I won't charge you.
Ah,
So
that's
we don't know
another
the depth.
narrative.
Hunter
Of course.
had to know.
And he's done this over and over again in public.
So isn't this really a romance story where Hunter?
I'm sorry, I lost you.
Isn't this really a romance? I'm sorry. Isn't this really a romance story, Al, about Hunter loving this hot chick so much that he's willing to give up his attorney general role and damn the state?
No, I'd say it's more of a rivalry between Hunter, Mike Hunter, and Governor Stitt.
All right,
And
Van,
this is
save
all
us,
back
save
to-
us here, Van. Tell me
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm doing wrong. here.
I think Hunter would like us to believe that this is just it was just sex, right? It was just sex. But Oklahoma can't handle it, so I'm going to resign. But I think what Al's saying is no, don't pay attention to that. This is a criminal attempt to have somebody framed and put in prison. Ostro.
Well, remember, what was this scandal? We talked about it about a year ago. Who was it that was running for office and was
Caputo?
approached by the AG?
Yes,
the
Caputo's
deputy-
office. That
Caputo,
James
that's
Caputo,
right.
a Tulsa County District Court judge,
That's right.
resign tonight or you're going to get indicted tomorrow. And Caputo
Exactly.
said, no,
We
I ain't
talked about it on
resigning.
this
And you know what? There's
show.
never an indictment.
Okay, so
And that was Hunter's. That was
Yes.
under Hunter,
Yes.
his deputy.
Yes.
So
so
so-
these are white.
There's way more going on here.
It's a pattern is what you're saying. And yes, I agree. It is a pattern.
These are white collar crimes. Am I right?
Yeah. Political crimes. Yeah. You know,
Is it criminal or
extortion.
not? Is it criminal or not?
Extortion,
Oh, yeah.
bribery.
Okay,
It's
so
bribery, it's
criminal.
extortion.
If they then these are white collar crimes, just like Eric Holder being held in contempt of Congress for the first time, right? First,
It would be malicious prosecution, which would probably be a felony. It'd be
Yes.
awful high standard.
so the reason I'm bringing that out is because to the bigger point of the general unrest where it exists in America today, they talk about the police are bad and this and that are bad. The problem is not that the low level cop is not being held accountable. The problem is that Eric Holder, the high level cop's not being held accountable.
Oh.
Hillary Clinton's not being held accountable. Hunter's not being held accountable. These people at a high level, white collar criminals are not being held accountable. That's what's creating the unrest.
Look what they did to Trump. Look at how many FBI directors tried to railroad Trump. Yeah. This is yeah.
They're punishing the low level criminal. Chauvin, whoever his name is, that had his knee on Floyd's neck, he's gonna ride. He's gonna writhe in pain. He's gonna go off to jail, be there forever. The low level criminals always pay the price. What is infuriating everybody and making them riot is because Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, Bill Clinton, these high level F faces don't ever pay the price. Okay, Benghazi and all the way down. And like you're saying, it comes down to the state level with Hunter. He's banging some hot chick on the side, and he's just going to get out of it. And somebody else is going to get out of the extortion game, and no one's going to know because they're all worried about the sex.
Do you remember Chris Kennedy and the whole sexual scandal there?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Well, the backstory was pretty simple. Basically, the House leadership came to me and asked me to clear him out of the way, and to bring that story back from 6 months before. And I had to ask, why do you want me to do this? Well, he's become a threat to House leadership. Okay. Initially, I was a little bit disappointed that they only investigated one of 4 cases, I believe it was, and including an attorney who was basically had approached me, on behalf of the 4th victim. There was allegedly a 5th victim too, a woman that worked for the nurses some kind of a nurses lobby organization or something. But anyway, whenever he walked off, you had to feel a little disappointed that he got off, but at the same time, you also have to understand the realities of what we're dealing with. If they take one of their own down, he can probably take them down as well. That is the depth of the corruption that we're working with. You've got the AG's office basically controlled by the AG. What we really need to do is to find a way to get legislation passed or a constitutional change where the AG's office has no control over the grand juries. That
Al, you just broke something really big. I've not seen you write a story where you tell that narrative publicly about being asked to bring the details about Kennedy. Have you published this before?
I have not, and there's a lot that I don't write about.
Well, you just put it out there tonight.
I did indeed.
So we can tell everybody that to not talk about it.
Would you like to elaborate since you're being reckless, Al?
Well,
everybody, the jury just disregard the last minute and a half.
Kennedy had McLean on the ropes, and McLean knew it.
McLean? You mean McCall?
McCall. I'm sorry, McCall's
Now,
McCall.
Al, that's 3. Dang it, you're in trouble right now. This is 3D scrutiny. So all right, so let's wrap this puppy up. We've only got about 8 minutes left. And we're either going to get to the Adventures of Oldham or not tonight. But what else to wrap this story up? There's a lot of salacious details. I wish I wouldn't have been misled by the other picture, because the little blonde picture, she was cute. And I thought, man, that poor Hunter, he had a lot to deal with on that.
I hated to disappoint Al.
She was involved.
But it's amazing what, you know.
Oldham had to have been 20 years a lawyer before she became a Burger King franchisee.
You gotta wonder, was it the intellect or was it the burgers? You know.
Yeah, I think don't they have a fish sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh, Al.
But anyway, Al, any predictions
you
on
opened the door?
I did.
Al, any predictions on what kind of a person Stitt's going to appoint to finish out that term as Attorney General?
Well, let's see. That's a great question. I hope it's not Drummer. What's his name? Drummond somebody?
Gentner
Drummond.
Yeah,
he's kind of an outsider for sure.
Yeah, he's got his own little scandal trail following him around as well. But he's got a lot of money, and you just never know. But
it's a golden appointment, right, Al? This is a powerful appointment.
It is.
I mean, to quote Blago, this is gold, and I'm not going to give it away.
Well, I think the wild card is going to be Ostro. What does he do? Because he's been maligned badly, and he's probably going to want to see justice done. So he might.
Okay, I mean, because I am dense and slow. So do you think Ostro's a good guy?
I have no idea.
Well, he sounds like a victim to me. Stitt was cheering publicly when he got exonerated.
Okay, Oldham, what'd you say?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if he's a good guy. It matters that injustice criminality has been committed by the AG. That's come out. We need to deal with Ostro if Ostro needs dealing with.
So
the Boy Scout has spoken.
The AI has spoken. So, but the point is, and really this is the point, is that it's and thank you, Al, for bringing out the salacious underbelly, but it is not the sex of the story that's the problem. Am I right, Oldham? It's the criminality, and the criminality is what? Specifically, criminality?
Let's understand that Mike Hunter has proven himself over and again to be a horrible excuse for a human. The thing is that and we see it not only from this now finally coming out, all the dark underbelly of his life that we're now seeing, but we also see it daily in his public actions. I mean, when he sends his deputies to argue that syntaxes are lawful at the Supreme Court, that he commits these crimes in front of everybody, should be something that we all should see. That we now see an underbelly. should be just, we should just go, oh yeah, well, I knew there was something there. Now I know what.
All right, Van.
Okay, I got to warn Al. With that tirade from Oldham, look out, Al. He's trying to take over your market share. I tell you what.
Let him have it. Welcome to the fight.
You can have it, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, really?
Real efficient.
No, I'm thankful for Al and the investigative work he's doing.
Yes.
But we should realize that the public record has so much criminality contained within it. They do this stuff openly in front of all of us every single day without compunction, and that should be what is that's our shame. It's great that Al will dig in and find the dark side of things, because that's what people really want to glom onto. But we have the public record every single day.
Well, also, and I think, with the story last time, there was a time back or two when you were on, Al, talking about Jameson, and you were trying to bring up his lack of morals. He's been whatever the issues with him being evicted or whatever. And I at the time, I'm minimizing that. It's like, I don't care about if someone's been evicted, let's talk about policies. I don't care about Caitlyn Jenner, whether this or that. Let's talk about policies. But really, consistently, Al, you're kind of bringing to light the idea that if your morals, like a libertarian, I cut the tongues out of 2 or 3 libertarians over the weekend, and that's funny. And so, but the idea that you can just go around expecting low morals from the general populace, but then expect high morals somehow from your elected leaders. It literally doesn't work that way. You can't have low morals going on, whether it's being evicted or having sex with your secretary, and then expect those guys to represent us responsibly. So I appreciate your work you do, Al, and I appreciate you being here tonight also.
Well, character is important, like you just said, in our public officials, even the people that lead our activists and the people that lead our party. You've got to have character. And I know sometimes I look like I'm judgmental, and I'll tell you the truth. I'm a human being like everybody else, but I don't see myself out there trying to lead anything. Okay.
Except Oldham. He's no damned human being.
I am too.
But one other thing that's really important is that, number one, I don't dig this stuff up. People bring it to me, and that's the difference.
Do. That's true.
And I'm known for keeping confidences, and that's why they bring it to me, because they feel.
And so tell everybody where to find you, Al, to find out more about you and what you're going to talk about next.
Oh, algerhart.blogspot.com, or you can find me on David Van's Center Politics page, his website.
Yep. Sign up for the newsletter, right?
Yeah.
It's every Sunday night.
See. Yeah, it's just the blog spot now, I guess. We're no longer doing a newsletter. We kind of got deplatformed, I guess you call it.
That's what they do. Yes, that means you're effective. Nice
Well,
job.
guys, thanks for having me on. And
very good. We're going to send you out.
Story.
Okay, Al, thanks for being here once again. The Wrecking Ball, Al Gerhart, Sooner Tea Party co-founder. We're going to send you out right here with the, there it is. Al, thanks for being here. Great work.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you go, guys.
Good night.